Hello everyone, welcome to BetSmart Soccer, your #1 destination for detailed analyses and accurate sports betting tips. In today's video, we will dissect the strengths and weaknesses of the matches I will analyze today and give you the best tips for your bets on the upcoming matches. Let's dive into this Wednesday. Stay until the end of the video, we will have tickets ready. The first match I will analyze is the MLS round regular season game between DC United and Cincinnati. Let's examine the weaknesses of the last 10 games between DC United and Cincinnati. For the DC United team, we see that they are in poor form, winning only 10% of the last 10 matches. Additionally, the team shows a weak defense, conceding an average of 2.2 goals per game. They also suffer a lot of shots, with an average of 12.6 shots conceded per game. The Cincinnati team, on the other hand, is in good form, winning 80%, 8 of the last 10 matches with a strong attack, scoring an average of 2.1 goals per game. Now let's move on to the strengths of the last 10 games. DC United, high average of shots. The team has an average of 14 shots per game. Cincinnati, good form. The team has won 80%, 8 of the last 10 matches. Strong attack, scoring an average of 2.1 goals per game. Consistency in accurate passes. The team completed 342 out of 402 passes with 84% accuracy. Let's analyze the playing style of both teams. DC United, centralized play. Low average of long passes, 4.2 per game. Many corners, an average of 6.4 corners per game. Few corners conceded, an average of 4 corners conceded per game. Cincinnati, centralized play, an average of 6 long passes per game. More shots inside the box, with an average of 9.3 shots inside the box and 4.6 shots outside the box per game. So based on these data, what are the best bets for this game? I see a lot of value in both teams to score. Yes, with odds of 1.47. But this odds is very low. My tip is that you take this bet live with an odds of 1.70. The second match I will analyze is the confrontation between New York City and CF Montreal. Let's start with an overview of the general performance of the teams. New York City FC had a 60% success rate in the last 10 games, while CF Montreal had only a 33% success rate. This contrast already gives us an idea of who might be more confident for the match. Offensive and defensive performance. New York City FC defensive struggles. New York City FC has been struggling defensively, conceding an average of 1.5 goals per game. Attack. They have an average of 1.5 goals per game, but this hasn't been enough to secure consistent victories. Goal opportunities. They stand out for creating many goal opportunities, especially between the 76th and 90th minutes, where they have scored 42% of their goals. CF Montreal inconsistent defense. CF Montreal has shown an inconsistent defense, conceding goals in 80% of their games. Attack. They have an average of 2.2 goals per game, but the defense has been a problem, conceding many goals between the 46th and 60th minutes. Corners conceded. Montreal also tends to concede many corners, with an average of 6 per game. Strengths and weaknesses. New York City FC weaknesses. Weak defense and high average of shots conceded, 12.9 per game. Strengths. High pass accuracy and good individual player performances. CF Montreal strengths. Good phase with a tendency for games with more than 2.5 goals and high pass accuracy. Weaknesses. Poor form with only 20% victories in the last 10 games, weak defense, and high average of shots conceded, 12.5 per game. Playing style. New York City FC ball handling. Works the ball with many passes, 243 per game. Fouls and corners. Commits few hard fouls, but has a good average of corners, 7 per game. CF Montreal centralized play. Plays centrally with few throw-ins, 4.1 per game. Fouls and corners. Commits few fouls and concedes many corners, 6 per game. Betting tips. Based on these data, here are some tips for your bets. over 2.5 goals. Bet that there will be more than 2.5 goals in the game, given Montreal's history. But this odds is very low. My tip is that you take this bet live, with an odds of 1.60. The third and final match I will analyze is the clash between Atlético Mineiro and Flamengo in the Brazilian Championship. Let's start with an overview of the general performance of the teams. Atlético Mineiro had a 40% success rate in the last 10 games, while Flamengo dominated with 83%. This contrast already gives us an idea of who might be more confident for the match. Offensive and defensive performance, Atlético Mineiro. Atlético Mineiro has been struggling defensively, conceding an average of 1.6 goals per game. In attack, they have an average of 1.6 goals per game, but this hasn't been enough to secure consistent victories. They stand out for high ball possession, with an average of 62% per game. Flamengo has shown a powerful attack, with an average of 2.3 goals per game. Flamengo's defense is solid, with 80% of the games not conceding the first goal. The Rio de Janeiro team also stands out for scoring many goals in the final minutes, especially between the 76th and 90th minutes. Strengths and weaknesses. Atlético Mineiro weaknesses: weak defense and high average of shots conceded, 11.5 per game. Strengths: high ball possession and many goal attempts, 10.8 per game, with accurate passes and good individual performances. Flamengo strengths: excellent form, with 80% victories in the last 10 games. Strong attack and tendency to score the first goal of the game. Weaknesses: although solid, Flamengo commits few fouls, which can be exploited by an aggressive opponent. Playing style: Atlético Mineiro works the ball with many passes, 520 per game. Commits many hard fouls, 3.4 yellow cards per game. Flamengo also has a playing style based on many passes, 464 per game. Commits few fouls and is efficient in winning corners, 6.4 per game. Betting tips. Based on these data, some tips for your bets. Both team to score. Yes. This bet has a lot of value, with an odds of 1.87. So, did you like the analysis? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more analysis and betting tips. Leave our comments your predictions for the game and your own betting tips. To the next.